on Northeastern was down by as many as 24 points. And at the very end, Jonathan Lee with the game-winning layup to knock off George Mason. It's the 2 versus 3 Delaware and James Madison. And the winner will face off tomorrow night. You'll see that game on the NBC Sports Network at 7 o'clock. As we take a look at the starting lineups, first for the Dukes of James Madison, they come in with Devon Moore, Diouf, Davis, and Goins, but keep your eye on Andre Nation, just a freshman, but this young man, he'll step up and take a shot anytime one's needed. No problem about it.
Without a doubt. He is very similar to Gianicic from George Mason, who we just saw. You're going to see a huge jump in his game from this year to next year. Ultra talented 6'5" wing, slasher, can knock it down. But what I like even more, he can defend as well.
And the starting lineup for the Blue Hens of Delaware. Sadler, Anderson, Jamel Hagans, Carl Baptiste getting the start, and Jarvis Street. Now we highlight Jarvis Street because you look at Devon Sadler, leading scorer of the CAA, but a lot of what he gets is because of the abilities of Jarvis Street.
Jarvis Street is a pure point guard. I love his moxie, love his style. He has an innate ability to get to the free throw line for someone his size. He also is the kind of guy that when this ball club gets going, he's the one initiating the passes to Jamel Hagans on the block or to Sadler coming off of wings.
Delaware is designated as the higher seed, so they will be in the home whites. James Madison, their head coach, Matt Brady, in his 5th year, are the 3 seed. They're designated as the visiting squad. They'll be in their road purple. Monte Ross in his 7th year. He's a Philly native, graduate of Bodine High School, and maybe doing his best job of coaching since he's been at Newark. So a very talented squad on both sides of the scoring table. Officials for the second semifinal game, Tim Nestor, Roger Ayers, and Les Jones. So a right to play Northeastern on the line and possibly a ticket to the tournament, and we are underway in Richmond. Ron, give us one matchup to look for early on. Of course, anyone that's guarding Devon Sadler is going to be key in this game, but is it the Freak matchup going head-to-head maybe with Devon Moore?
No, I really think it's Hagans going head-to-head against Rashawn Goins. Those 2 guys on the block, whichever one can have the advantages, is going to go a long way for their ball club in terms of being successful tonight.
And how about Nation, a freshman stepping up and blocking the CAA scoring leader's 3-point attempt? Very athletic teams. We were talking about this prior to this game. You probably give the inside advantage to Delaware with Hagans and Baptiste, but the athletic ability of the Dukes on the outside is amazing.
They're going to give, I think, Delaware a lot of problems, especially when they go really small. They'll put 4 guards on the floor around the small forward and just create havoc defensively.
Sadler tries to come right back and answer after getting his first attempt at block. He comes up short. Showing zone early on, switching over to man-to-man. That shot off the mark, and it's Hagans cleaning up the mess. Here's Street with the ball. Talented point guard. Hagans on a mismatch, and he throws this one away. A.J. Davis smartly throws it up, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
When A.J. Davis gets the ball, he's got one thing in mind. In the half court, it's how can I get a shot up. In the open court, how quickly can I get to the rim? And that time, he caught it in the open court, just exploded, took the bump. Now he's going to the free throw line.
While we have a moment, let's bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast team. Here's Mike Corey.
All right, Todd, thanks very much. Talked to Coach Brady in the locker room before the game and said how he's been very pleased with how his team's battled through injuries and adversity this year. It seems to kind of happen to him every other year. They're 2-0 against Delaware this year. He said, well, we've proved that we can beat them. Now we have to prove that we are better. If they can, they're going to be playing for a CAA championship.
No question about it. And Mike, you know as well as Ron and I, this conference, maybe from top to bottom, Ron, the most parity. Any team beats any team on any given night, no question about it.
When this tournament started, we were in our production meeting and we're going over the matchups and trying to figure out who we think could end up in the championship game. And we came up with about 3 or 4 different combinations just because of the parity, as you touched on, in this league. Very, very quality ball in this conference.
decided to go big to start this one. They bring in Carl Baptiste, 6'9" junior. He starts opposite Jamel Higgins, who goes 6'9" as well. Here's Baptiste, a big body down low. This is a mismatch. Baptiste can't put it in, but he got a good look, and he got deep in the post.
Baptiste is solid. We're going to see some positive things from him, I think, throughout the course of this game. He's taken the place of Brinkley, who has a knee injury, who had a lion's share of those minutes. He stepped in. That's Baptiste, and done a really, really solid job when Brinkley went down with his injury.
Moore gives way to Nation. Nation on the wing, driving across. Baptiste meets him there, and Nation just shrugs it off, goes up. Oh, my goodness sakes!
What more can you say? You got to put a body on him. He had 2 dunks like that in the last game yesterday from the guy guarding him, just not putting a body on him. A.J. Davis is in an excellent zone right now mentally the last 4 games.
The 6'6" senior guard came from Roanoke to put this one down.
Look to the right of your screen. All of a sudden, this body just comes flying out of nowhere, literally flying out of nowhere, and slams it home. Todd, I used to be able to jump like
I was
that.
just going to say, I knew you were coming in.
In my younger days, I had legs like that.
Just how you dialed it up. I'm calling coach to confirm that.
Look, I dreamed about doing plays like that all the time.
Well, the bad news for Monte Ross is the first highlight comes by way of the Duke's A.J. Davis, and Jarvis Street, his sensational point guard, picks up his second foul. Matt Brady touching on A.J. Davis has had a rough year. The transfer coming over from Wyoming, and he really just wasn't feeling it. But as of February, Coach Brady says he's definitely bought into the system, and he's connected now what we're trying to do.
You're seeing a little bit of James Madison's scramble defense and picked up full court as Rashawn Goins picked up the foul in transition, but their pressure with this small lineup with Goins as the center can give teams a lot of problems.
No question about it. Goins, who goes out and fouls one of the better three-point shooters in the CAA, Kyle Anderson, will go to the line shooting nearly 75%. He'll get 3.
See what happens, and this is where the chess match takes place. JMU goes small. Delaware has the advantage in terms of size, but does the size of the JMU Dukes give them so much difficulty that it forces now Delaware to go small? We'll see how this matchup plays out.
And you've seen Delaware enough this year. Do they have the personnel on that bench for Monte Ross to match going small with the Dukes?
I think they can. What they'll do is they'll bring in a guy like a Larry Savage. He's a utility guy at 6'5", that can defend multiple positions, so they can go small if they have to. But they're going to want to keep Jamel Higgins on the floor as much as possible.
Kyle Anderson hits all 3, so it's a 5-3 Dukes lead early on here in Richmond. Remember, the winner of this game is moving on to play Northeastern in the CAA championship. Foul called away from the ball. Ball go back over to the Blue Hens. This full court press has really given Delaware some issues. The athletic ability and the way they fly around on defense. Sadler left wide open. Rims out. Well, we know AJ can hit from close range, and unable to hit on that 3. Goes back over to Delaware. Sadler going to work, kicking it out. Do you like the ball in Sadler's hands as a distributor, or would you rather see 3 doing all the dishing?
I like just what Monte Ross does. He mixes it up. Yep. I don't think he's a guy that you want to have a steady diet of creating because of his ability to score, but I like at certain situations, get out the way, give him the ball, and just let him make the decision.
Sadler unable to connect on the runner, and the Dukes come away with it. Despite their lack of size really on the interior, James Madison does a pretty nice job on the defensive and offensive end of the boards.
Well, they make up for their lack of height with their athleticism. This is a very, very athletic ball club. You have a lot of interchangeable parts. It'll be interesting to see if Delaware can take advantage on the defensive end, on the offensive end on post-ups. If Delaware can get Higgins posted up deep, or get a guy like a Carl Baptiste posted up, because they don't have many options. You're going to see, though, JMU, if they start to feel that Delaware has the advantage, to go a little bit deeper in their bench and play guys like a Taylor Bessie.
First substitutions of the game, and it is Taylor Bessett coming in for Matt Brady's Dukes. And, of course, across the way, Larry Savage stepping in as 3 with his 2 fouls, goes to the bench. Nations pass knocked away, gets it back, comes up short. Sadler comes away with it. Difficult for the Blue Hens early on. You watch as he cuts through the lane. He gets 2 or 3 big bodies crashing and bumping him and chipping him as he goes in, and he's fouled on the drive. 15:45 to play in the first half, and one of the great highlights of the season coming by way of A.J. Davis. Back inside historic Richmond Coliseum here in Richmond, Virginia, semifinal number 2 of the CAA men's tournament, where the 2 seed and the 3 seed are meeting up, Delaware and James Madison. 5-3 Dukes on top of the Blue Hens early on, alongside Ron Thompson, Mike Corey. I'm Todd Harris, glad to have you with us on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Anderson. That's why Goings fouled him on his first attempt. He knows exactly what he can do it quickly. Nation and the Dukes come back, and Jamel Higgins, the conference defensive player of the year, makes sure that goes nowhere.
Whoa, talk about meet me at the glass. Higgins was up really high on that one. Right after that last shot on the other end, Kyle Anderson got hit in the eyes, getting ready to come out now. I think it's maybe a contact that's kind of shifted a little bit on him.
So Anderson, with 6 points on the day, will come out and seek a little attention, and that'll bring in Terrell Rogers at 5'8", the freshman at Fort Mill, South Carolina. Madison staying with a full court press. Sadler gives it over quickly to Rogers. And talk about a young man who's got the G. His father was quite a player back in the day.
Oh, Shawnte Rogers, his dad out of GW from Baltimore. Excellent, excellent ball player.
Shots not falling for James Madison that time as Ron Curry unable to connect. You see the athletic ability of the Dukes and just how quickly they play. You look to a matchup possibly in the championship game against Northeastern, which is more like a Delaware. It's going to slow down. They're going to run a half-court offense. Who do you think favors better against the Huskies?
Well, you know, it's hard to go against Northeastern just in the job that they've done. But I would say that a team like a Delaware, a team that has solid interior play from multiple guys, and then you throw in a Devon Sally, who's a huge tough guard. As our guy, A.J. Davis, comes down, nails another three. He's in a complete zone the last 4 games.
7 points on the day so far for A.J. Davis, and a dunk, which I'm sure we will be showing you more of. But first, let's get a little replay of this three-pointer.
Well, he's unconscious. When he comes down in transition, you can't continue to back up if you're Savage. If he's in the gym, he's in his range, so you got to pick him up right when he gets across half court. And you love to see a guy regroup. This guy was in the doghouse, was listless. I went to a few practices. Mentally, he just wasn't there early on, and he's come out of it and is playing excellent basketball.
Defensively recognizing that play, and Sadler does a great job of making sure Nation's shot goes nowhere. Sadler had the numbers, probably should have pulled up there. It's back and forth. Here comes Moore. He'll pull up for the 15-footer. Off the mark. Baptiste rips away the rebound. And this time, Monte Ross gets the attention of his star. Devon Sadler says, let's slow this one down. Savage drives in the lane, backs up. Knocked away, and the Dukes will come away with it.
Didn't like that possession that time by Savage. He's not a creator. He's a straight line driver. After a few passes are made, he's not your initial option when you want to go right one-on-one and try to get a basket.
So with Jarvis 3 on the line, it goes to the shoulders of Devon Sadler to run the offense. And as you talked about it, Monte Ross, it really takes away an option for him, sprinkle in a little Sadler at him running the point. Hagan's now driving in, has nowhere to go. Shot clock down to 15. Sadler just can't seem to get on track.
Well, he's going to have to make the adjustment. The officials are letting him play just a bit. When he's driving in there, they're not going to just give him those little ticky-tack fouls. He's got to be strong and possibly get fakes at the end of his dribble. Right here, gets into the pocket. There is some contact. He wants to start to try to use his ball fakes because the officials aren't going to bail him out on that.
So Jarvis 3 with 2 fouls, checks into the game. And how about this? Hagan says, I saw your dunk, A.J. Davis.
Excellent rip-through drive that time by Hagan. If you're JMU, you have to have weak side help. Someone that needed to rotate over and give Bessick some help.
Charles Cook now on the floor, as is number 1, Enoch Hood, checking in for the Dukes. Spinning move, nothing there. Sadler comes away with it. He wants to run. Gets the contact, and they're going to call the charge.
Sadler's always in attack mode. He gets it here in transition, and you see JMU, they're sprinting hard, trying to get back in. Credit JMU for getting back, getting their feet set. Ron Curry did an excellent job at taking it in the chest. You see right here, hands straight up, his feet are solid on the ground. Excellent call by the official.
1 point, James Madison lead, 12:23 to go here in the first half. Enoch Hood's going to get called for the charge.
Good defensive rotation. That's what you call team defense right there. Higgins read the play perfectly, came over outside that restricted area, got his feet set, and nailed it.
Well, you saw the body language of Enoch Hood, 6'9" sophomore from Norfolk, Virginia. He had a whole head of steam in.
Well, what's happening because of Delaware's size with Baptiste as well as Higgins, JMU's going deep into their bench, and they're playing some guys that they normally wouldn't play that long, or at least this early in the game.
Full court pressure. They're gonna burn through some guys' energy reserves, and Davis called for the foul. A.J. Davis, someone who they certainly do not want to lose. Matt Brady imploring his squad, just settle down. We got plenty of time. Davis just picking up his first. Sadler, however, the leading scorer in the CAA, 0 for 6 from the field, but he does have 6 rebounds. Anderson driving with 6 points. He's knocked to the ground. And they're going to get Enoch Hood for the second foul. He's just been in for 2 or 3 minutes, picks up 2 fouls. Sensational highlight reel so far here in the Richmond Coliseum at the CAA tournament. How about this follow? We'll be back with more. 11:57 to play here in the first half.
Man, my mom been through a lot this season. My mom been through a lot this season. My mom had, you know, brain cancer. So I've been going back and forth to Columbus to Virginia, and just to see her push through everything every day, it's amazing. I don't think I could do it. She smiles every day when she may take between 25 and 30 pills and be back and forth in the hospital. So, I mean, to see what she does every day and still have a smile and
Low-scoring affair here in semifinal number 2 of the Richmond Coliseum. You are looking at senior Devon Moore, the young man out of Columbus, Ohio, and to say he has a lot on his plate would be an understatement.
Man, my mom been through a lot this season. My mom had, you know, brain cancer. So I've been going back and forth to Columbus to Virginia, and just to see her push through everything every day, it's amazing. I don't think I could do it. She smiles every day when she may take between 25 and 30 pills and be back and forth in the hospital. So, I mean, to see what she does every day and still have a smile and still want to, you know, get up and fight the cancer, I can't do nothing but be here and try to give it my all.
He has certainly done that. Devon Moore with a 20-point showing last night against William and Mary to get the Dukes here into these semifinals.
When you hear stories like that, it just puts everything in perspective, doesn't it? And it brings the human side to a lot of these athletes. You forget that they have lives, they have emotions, they have things that they're going, that they're dealing with on and off the court. That, you know, they're not just ball players. Student athletes in a whole world of very serious problems on the outside right now for Devon Moore.
Of course, we certainly think of his mom and wishing the best for her. Delaware with a 1-point lead and a substitution coming in Josh Brinkley, number 32, another big body for Monte Ross and his Blue Hens. This is Higgins with a jump hook, and he's fouled. And it's going to be Enoch Hood, who checked into the game just about 3 minutes ago, and he's picked up 3 fouls.
Well, Todd, when you take a look at Brinkley, you touched on him briefly, number 32 in white for Delaware. He was a starter early on. You know, he sprained his knee 4 games ago, and he hasn't been able to get back into the flow of where he once was, and that's why Baptistas had to come in and fill a void. But he was a huge part of what Monte Ross did with this ball club during the season.
Higgins hits both, pushes the lead to 12-9. We've got 11:15 to go, and Delaware in the midst of a 6-0 run, getting their offense from the charity stripe so far, because Sadler, the leading scorer of the CAA, has been held in check. That man has not been held in check. A.J. Davis. 9 points so far for the young man out of Columbus, Ohio. Hagan's going right at Enoch Hood. Gets double teamed that time. He has to dish it away. It's going to stay with the Blue Hens.
When Hagan gets double teamed right there on the post, he has to look opposite. He did an excellent job yesterday at when he got double teamed at finding the open man. Today he has to go back to the mindset that he had yesterday against William & Mary and try to find the open man.
Three checking back into the game. And a shot clock violation. And that time, you know, Enoch Hood has picked up 3 quick fouls, but he stayed with 3. If he had backed off, he'd given an open 3, and he didn't. And the shot clock violation.
Todd, take a look at Hagan's right here in the post. The double team comes. When that double team comes, you see right at the top of your screen, you see Anderson wide open. He has to get in his mind, have to make a quick post move. If not, look opposite and find my shooters.
So despite 9 turnovers, the Blue Hens have the lead. As the pace has settled down greatly, JMU came out flying. Dunks, everything going their way, and now they've gone a little bit cold now that they've dropped into a more slow-down conventional half-court offense. Reed driving, gets the double team, gets it up on the glass, but can't get the fall, but Higgins comes away with it. Brinkley, underneath. Knee looked pretty good there.
Well, he strained, though. You know, he almost brought the whole house down because he couldn't quite get up high enough, but hopefully that'll get his confidence going. You know, you hate to see a guy who's had a really, really solid career get injured right at the end of the season when it's crunch time and you know inside his heart he really wants to contribute even more.
A much different looking Dukes team over the last 4 or 5 minutes, and Moore changes that. Devon Moore goes right to the rack. Off the screen, off the iron. Cook from the corner. And that's a 2-pointer. His foot was on the line. So JMU back in front, 8:40 now to play in the first half. The winner moves on to face Northeastern tomorrow night in the championship game. We'll see that here on the NBC Sports Network.
One thing's for certain, Todd, officials have been consistent in this game. When you drive, you have to go strong and use your ball fakes because they're not bailing you out when those guards drive in. And take a look at 3. He drives hard. There is some contact, but the officials have been consistent. They're not making that call. So as a guard or as a forward, you have to now make the adjustment.
Head coach Matt Brady recognizing they might have dodged a bullet there with Enoch Hood. He would have picked up his 4th foul here in the first half, so he'll take a seat. Sadler, shot blocked, and they're going to call the foul on Taylor Bessick. The 6'9" freshman out of Philadelphia thought he got all ball, but don't they always?
Now, you always think it. You know, you think the official's crazy every time he blows the whistle, or you think the coach is crazy when he takes you out for missing a shot. But credit Sadler that time for doing an excellent job at slowing down a bit, baiting the defender to foul him on the wrist to get this opportunity to go to the free throw line.
Sadler just cannot find his offensive mojo here in the first half.
And I think you have to give a lot of credit to JMU. When they go small and they scramble all over the place defensively, they've taken Delaware out of the normal flow in terms of the natural progression when they come up the floor and get into their offensive sets.
Devon Sadler getting his first point, 0 for 6 from the field, 1 for 2 from the line. All even at 15 now. Nation on the mismatch against Baptiste, but gets it to fall. Beautiful left-handed layup.
Todd, that was a prime example of JMU taking advantage of the guards they have on the floor. They spread the court. Nation realized he was one-on-one with the center and just put his head down and drove hard to the basket.
Brinkley once again left wide open, and a smart pass by Sadler finds it. Curry for three. Baptiste can't get it to go, and the rebound, and he's fouled on the backside. Andre Nation finds himself cutting across the lane, cutting left, cutting right, lays it up and in. We've got ourselves a tie ball game. Wednesday night rivalry is back on the NBC Sports Network. This week, the Flyers head to New Jersey to battle with the Devils. It's Wednesday night rivalry presented by Coors Light. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on the NBC Sports Network. Well, there you're looking at Josh Brinkley, the 6'6" forward from right here in Richmond, Virginia, and Douglas Freeman High School, coming off the bench, and there you see him stretching his knee, but he's had a big week so far as we check in with Mike Corey.
Yeah, it really has been, Todd. Friday night after the CAA banquet here in Richmond at the Marriott, Josh proposed to his girlfriend Chelsea Lawrence, and she accepted. He is engaged now to a senior volleyball player from Delaware, Chelsea Lawrence, and of course his whole family, as you said, here from the Richmond area. Homecoming for him on his Facebook page this week. He said, "I'm coming home. This is the end of the road for me in Delaware. I'm going to make it count. This is our year. Go Blue Hens." The birds about to start flocking, so we'll see if his words ring true here today.
Did you get a save the date card or anything? I was invited.
Man, I didn't get the invite either.
Nothing.
My hat's off to a young man, senior in college, getting engaged. Whew.
That's a big step. That's a big step.
Huge step. Hope he knows what's in front of him.
Nothing but good. 18-17, Blue Hens on top. Dukes come back with their high-flying rotation of athletic guards with Moore, Davis, and Nation playing out on the wings. Couple that with number 2, Ron Curry, and really almost a 4-guard rotation with one big in the middle in the form of number 22, Taylor Bessick. And immediately, Monte Ross has to substitute Baptiste out and get a smaller, more athletic body in there. Anderson almost steals it away. Bessick hits. From today, it'll be Selection Sunday. Will one of these teams be in the field for the big dance? Congratulations to those teams that are already in. Florida Gulf Coast getting it done. Tommy Amaker and the Crimson of Harvard getting it done. And Tomorrow night, we'll add another name to that list of those invited to the big dance. Will it be Northeastern or one of these two teams?
And there's nothing more enjoyable than seeing these guys, once they realize they've made the big dance, some of them for the first and only time in their college career, and it's just a joyous time of year, exciting time watching NCAA basketball this time of year.
You've been involved in that, obviously, with your family, as a player, as a coach. Is there a better time? I mean, for the fans, it's the absolute best time.
But for players, it's the same deal. You know, it's postseason play. You're playing for all the marbles. You know, you get the most media attention. You get the most national attention. You know, you go to college to put yourself in a situation to try and win it all. And it's just an exciting, exciting time.
And when we're talking about the big dance, Anderson kicks it down to Brinkley, the newly engaged Brinkley, and Hagans gets tied up in the air. He's called for a travel. So did you see me get hit in the chops? As a former coach at Division I level and a player, obviously, did you like staying close to home in your friendly confines, or was it kind of nice to maybe see another part of the country and play in a new arena?
Well, honestly, it didn't really matter, you know, because the teams you're playing are so tough, so competitive. You know, you would ideally, I guess, want to stay somewhat close to home so it would make it easier for fans. But once the adrenaline gets going and you get yourself going, you really don't, you start to block everything out. It's just, you're in the moment. So you were just excited to be there, and you just wanted to be as prepared as you could. There are a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of sleepless nights. You know, it's joyous on one angle in terms of getting there, but you know it's going to be about a month to 2.5 weeks of nonstop sleep and nonstop work.
No question about it. This kicks off. A lot of sleepless nights will be next Saturday. Selection Sunday coming up, and we'll see who makes the field. JMU. Beautiful three on the wing. Once again, Ron Curry finding the stroke.
Great job by Mason. JMU, they're sprinting the floor really hard, getting terrific spacing, and they're letting Devon Moore just make the decision of which guy to throw to and which mismatch to take advantage of.
So amazing about it is the way Devon Moore does it and the speed he does it at, the decision making as Brinkley gets the newly engaged bounce. 6 points for Josh Brinkley coming off the bench. 22-20 as we approach 4:20 to play in the first half. Northeastern already into the championship game tomorrow night. Up in the air, but couldn't finish the deal.
But again, good recognition by JMU to figure out where the mismatch was. Diaz caught Hagans on the perimeter, put it down on the deck, got hard, got the easy layup, he just couldn't convert it.
Sadler, too much dribbling. He even thought it was off of him. And he was backing away, but the officials say no, it's Delaware's ball. But the combination has been working. More to Curry, spelling more three-pointers. 22-20, Duke's on top of the Blue Hens.